Oh, that tickled my eyeball. A woman violated me when we got to the gym today. I let her out and then she slapped me on the arm and said, thank you. I was like, are you being nice? Or am I misreading this? We're back in our favourite gym, Pure Gym Maidenhead.
This is Pure Gym.
This is Pure Gym. That video, you remember that video. Great video, actually, you should watch it again. Considering the last video we did on exposing fitness myths, lies, and all that good stuff was actually quite a hit, we're gonna do it again, so this time is part 3. I'm pre-warning you now, we film a lot of videos. I can't actually remember what we spoke about in those videos, but I don't think we're duplicating anything. I've got a new list of 5 new ideas and 5 new myths we're gonna debunk. If I'm repeating myself, I'm really sorry. We'll get better. But I don't think we are. We're gonna start off with a bang today. One thing that I've seen across the industry for so long, and I'll tell you how I know I've seen this for a very long time, is when I was 18, my friends started selling these and I used to rinse them for it. So this is gonna be funny. Fat burners and detox teas. Back in the day, everyone would promote these supplements being Juice Plus was a big one. You've got Herbalife, all the usual nonsense. And these fat burners and detox teas were essentially sold to help you lose weight and also detox your liver. Firstly, I'm gonna throw this out there. If your liver is not detoxing, I'd probably go to a doctor because it's not doing its job properly. Remember that. The sad reality is this, they don't work. Categorically, they do not work. What fat burners largely are, it's probably just a pill with loads of caffeine in. That's gonna make you a little bit sweaty, a little bit jittery, but it's not gonna change much. They aren't gonna do what they say on the tin. If you want to burn fat and lose fat, you're gonna have to be in a calorie deficit, which we're actually gonna speak about later. Taking a supplement to help you get there isn't probably gonna help you get there. There are some fat burners that actually are quite effective. Things like yohimbine, doesn't mean I recommend it, and also a PED, performance enhancing drug, being clenbuterol. A very effective fat burner, doesn't mean you should take it. The over-the-counter ones you're going to buy from GNC or other supplement stores or from supplement websites online probably aren't going to be that effective, and they're not going to help you burn fat. If you want to burn fat, I'll tell you what you should really do. Move more, eat less. And the same comes into detox teas. You'll spend all this money on these detox teas to help you detox your liver and clear out your bits and bobs. Honestly, you probably need more fibre in your diet so you get some better poos going on. Because, like I said earlier, if your liver is not detoxing, it's not doing its job, and you have a medical condition that I would strongly advise seeking professional help for. Eat better, get enough micros in your diet, good amount of fibre, drink enough water, and do some exercise. And what you're hoping to achieve from these fat burners and detox teas is probably going to be done so from just living a better lifestyle. So if people are promoting fat burners and detox teas, quite frankly, they're trying to grab money from your wallet, and you cannot trust them. Sadly, I don't care what anyone says, and I've touched on this a few times loosely, but I'm going to touch on it again more thoroughly now. It really is calories in versus calories out. When people say to me that they can't lose weight, I say to them that you need to eat less or move more. They say, but Harry, I'm already in a calorie deficit. But clearly you're not. Fundamentally, despite what medical issues may be lingering, PCOS, thyroid issues, premenopause, whatever it may be, it's still calories in versus calories out. The laws of thermodynamics tell us calories are a unit of energy. To lose weight, we must be in a deficit of energy. To gain weight, we must be in a surplus of energy. Put 2 and 2 together. If you think you're in a deficit and you're not losing weight, you're probably not in a deficit. Therefore, you probably need to eat less or move more. If you think you're in a surplus and you're not gaining weight, you're probably not in a surplus. Therefore, you need to probably eat more or move less. When you diet, when your body weight changes, when things changes, your BMR, so basal metabolic rate, will change. Fat and muscle are both metabolically active. The more muscle you have, the more calories you will burn. The more fat you have, the more calories you burn. The less muscle you have, the less calories you burn. The less fat you have, the less calories you burn. As you get leaner through a deficit and are losing fat, you are losing metabolically active tissue, which means your BMR, so maintenance calories, will go down, which means your deficit calories will likely have to go down too. If you're at a period where you've plateaued and your body just isn't responding, that can happen. There's a bit of a nuance to that, so I'll waffle about that another time. It might actually be worth implementing a diet break, because sometimes it makes more sense for us to say, like, being in a deficit for 10 weeks, 20 weeks, whatever it may be, I'm going to step away from the deficit, I'm going to go back to maintenance, hover here for a bit, replenish some energy, psychologically reset, and then consider going back into said deficit when I'm in a better position to hopefully remain more consistent. As one thing that typically does happen when people are deficiting for a long time, they start getting a bit lax, a little bit lenient, and they go from tracking and being consistent 7 days a week to 6 to 5 to 4 days a week. When things like that are happening, sometimes it's worth to take a step back, resetting and going again when you're ready to. It still comes down to the fact of the matter being, if you want to lose weight, calorie deficit. If you want to gain weight, calorie surplus. If you want to maintain weight, calorie maintenance. How you get there is completely up to you. It can be through food, it can be through additional exercise or less exercise, or a combination of both. Like I said, this is why I say move more, eat less, etc., etc. Do you have to do endless amounts of cardio to burn those calories? No. But pairing additional steps throughout your day, working out in the gym or at home, doing some resistance training with altering your caloric intake, and maybe even some additional cardio as well as you want to, can really help you achieve all of those things through multiple different means of doing so. So sadly, despite medical issues potentially making that harder to do so, it still doesn't change the fact calorie deficit if you want to lose weight. How many times have you seen online people promoting the ketogenic diet or diets that basically steer you away from carbs? For whatever reason, probably back in the 60s, 70s, I don't know, I'm probably making it up. Carbs have been demonized as carbs are going to make you fat, apparently. There used to be a saying I used to hear, no carbs before marbs, which would mean no eating carbs before going on holiday to a place called Marbella. And this all stemmed into the idea that consuming carbs before holiday would mean you're bloated, you're fat, and you're not going to look shredded and lean for summer. Another thing we used to hear is no carbs after 6 p.m, as if consuming carbs after a certain time would suddenly trick your body or trigger your body into storing mass amounts of fat due to additional carb intake. Neither of these sayings are true. Additional carbs will not result in additional fat being stored. Additional carb intake may result in additional water retention, but doesn't mean you're going to be gaining fat. What's really going to contribute to additional fat gain is going to be being in a caloric surplus for an extended period of time. Whether you consume loads of carbs or no carbs in said surplus, you're still going to gain weight. Carbs aren't going to ultimately determine that or dictate that. And despite us not needing carbs to survive, needing being the big word there, one of the reasons people typically demonize carbs is because we don't actually need carbs to survive. We need protein, we need fats, but of all the 3 macronutrients there, we do not need carbs. Should you still consume carbs? In my opinion, yes. I think they're a fundamental source of energy, and despite not needing them, I think you probably should consume them. I think a lot of people adopted this approach that because we don't need them, it means our body shouldn't have them, because if we have them, it's because we need them, all that stuff. Quite frankly, it's a bunch of crap. A lot of people online get married to this idea where they'll hear that carbs are the enemy and carbs are XYZ, and not really broaden their scope beyond that and adopt quite a narrow-minded view that essentially just keeps them trapped in their bubble of carbs are the enemy, carbs are the enemy, carbs are the enemy. I did a video a while ago speaking about just this, and there was a huge backlash about people getting really upset and were offended by me actually stating that carbs aren't going to make you fat and carbs aren't going to kill you. In what world would you ever think I would believe that in the first place, that carbs are the enemy? I've never even indicated that once on my channel. Why would I suddenly think that now? It made no sense to me. Someone actually made a video about it. It was actually quite funny because it was just such an awful video. I had a good laugh. The lack of carbs isn't going to make you slim. What's probably going to make you slim is the fact you'll take away a whole macronutrient group, which in turn is going to help you get into caloric deficit, which in turn is going to help you lose weight over an extended period of time. Carbs aren't magic there. Carbs aren't changing that. What I would say, focus on this. 0.8 to maybe 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight for most people. About 0.3 to 0.5 grams of fat per pound of body weight for most people, with a minimum being around 50 grams. So do not go below 50 grams of fat, and your remaining calories fill in with carbs. That simple. If you don't want to fill them in with carbs, increase your protein intake or increase your fat intake. Increasing your protein intake will likely result in more satiation. Protein is the most satiating macro, but from an energy perspective, it might be worth consuming slightly more carbs, especially if you're working out consistently and like going to the gym or doing resistance training in any capacity, as carbs can help fuel you for those workouts. Are carbs going to kill you? Are carbs going to make you fat? No. Eating too much of anything will be doing that. It's not the carbs' fault. Despite what many people may say, where you train actually does matter. Right now, we're in a very commercial gym, Pure Gym Mainhead. Fantastic gym for what it's trying to achieve, I respect that absolutely. The issue is, the atmosphere in here is pretty dull and gloomy. When I come to a gym in which the atmosphere is dull and gloomy, it doesn't really motivate me to work out. It doesn't really inspire me to do better and really put the work in. End up just getting a little bit in your head. I feel like I'm going to spend half my workout pondering all of the mistakes I've made in my life. Again, this is very much dependent on your goals. If you're into powerlifting, it probably makes sense to go to a powerlifting gym because you may find that the environment and the atmosphere encourage you to do better, which can in turn encourage you to have better sessions, which also helps motivate you to remain a little bit more consistent with your workouts because you actually look forward to going to the gym. I've trained in gyms like this before, and although they serve a purpose and are absolutely fantastic for what they are, when it's come to achieving results, it never really encouraged me to keep coming back, nor did it ever make me feel particularly excited to train. The gym I train at regularly at the moment, which is obviously the gym you saw in the recent push video, does do that. It's an independent gym. It very much aligns with my goals. The vibe very much aligns with what I like from a gym, and because of that, it's encouraged a lot of like-minded individuals who are all trying to achieve a similar thing to myself to come to that gym, and then we all get on. I walk into the gym on my own, I train alone. Regardless of what time I go or what day I go, there's always going to be somebody there that I consider to be a friend or somebody I can have a good conversation with or lean on if I need a spot or a little bit of support. I find that particularly rare in more commercial gyms just because it probably doesn't attract that type of clientele, which is absolutely fine because not everyone wants that. Some people have a 9-to-5 job and they just want to go to the gym, get in, get out when they finish, to a cheap gym, to a convenient gym, and a gym that's open at all hours, which I fully respect. But for me and my goals, and maybe for you and your goals as well, it really is important to consider the environment in which you train. Find a gym that aligns with what you're hoping to achieve when it comes to training and give it a go. You may like it, you may hate it. Whatever it is, if you hate it, you've shortlisted it. If you like it, you found a new gym that can hopefully help push you that a little bit further, which in turn can help you achieve that a little bit more. I do believe that where you train does in fact matter. A big myth you'll commonly hear around the industry, especially from the bros, this is just beeped, I'm sorry, is that cardio kills your gains. So many people will say to me that they don't do cardio because they feel it's going to make them lose muscle, it's going to kill their gains, whatever it may be. Quite frankly, the issue is this: if you do anything in excess, it's probably going to take away from something else. So, for example, if you want to be a marathon runner but also want to look like a bodybuilder, that's probably not going to work. You probably only do one of the two. You can't do both. They're quite contradictory in regards to what you're trying to achieve there. Marathon runners are typically light, very active, able to run a long way. Bodybuilders are typically heavy, not very good at running. They don't really go hand in hand. To say that cardio as a blanket statement will kill your gains is quite frankly silly. Cardio is not only good for the old heart health, which we like, it's also good for caloric expenditure, which is also quite nice. It's also good when looking at digestion. Going for short walks after eating meals is quite good for you, and also doing additional cardio, even during a surplus period, can actually help you eat more due to making you feel a little bit hungrier, which is quite nice. The thing to consider is many of the people watching this channel probably just want to be a bit healthier. Maybe get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, look a bit better, but ultimately be healthier and do this for a long time. In neglecting cardio, you're neglecting something that's probably quite important, which is aerobic capacity and also just heart health in general. Because you're worried it's going to kill your gains, you're potentially actually hindering the health aspect of what you're trying to achieve because you believe a myth that isn't true. If you're going and doing an hour of cardio after every workout, probably is going to hinder your gains because anything in excess is probably not going to be ideal for you. What's going to happen there is you're going to train, do an hour of cardio, and that's going to batter your recovery, thus taking away from future sessions, thus hindering the progress you can make. But doing an extra 10 or 20 minutes of light, low intensity, steady state cardio at the end of sessions is not going to kill you, it's not going to hinder your recovery, and it's not going to harm you in any capacity. It's all about identifying what you want to achieve and also what you can recover from. If you're worried about cardio resulting in a loss of muscle mass due to the additional expenditure, there's a really easy way to fix that, which is eat more food. If you burn 200 calories during cardio, eat 200 calories more. Simple. If anyone says to you, cardio kills your gains or cardio is bad for your gains, tell them to stop being a sausage. Unless they're doing excessive amounts of cardio that they can't recover from, or that's going to negatively impact recovery, then yes, they may have a point. Most people could probably benefit from doing an extra 10 or 20 minutes of low intensity steady state cardio after a workout, just for health purposes. So that is in fact the video. I do apologise that I'm a bit bleh because I feel very poorly right now, and we got told off for filming, so we're in trouble now. Are we going to come back to this gym? Maybe not, because they don't like us filming here. Shock. That's the issue with filming in gyms. No one allows it. And if they do allow it, they charge you £1 million to film there. YouTube doesn't pay me that much. Nowhere near. That is the video. If you want a part 4, we can do a part 4. So you can comment down below what you believe the biggest lie in the fitness industry to be is, and then I can debunk it in a future video. But until the next one, thank you for tolerating me. Thank you for tolerating me getting in trouble at the gym, and thank you for tolerating the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and remember, TFNL coaching is always linked down below in the description and maybe even the comment section too. So if you fancy it, fill in the application form, hop on a free Zoom consultation call with me, and we can waffle about many things about coaching, lifting, and life.